What if there was a weekly YouTube workflow that made uploading every week effortless? Would you try it? Most creators struggle to upload consistently because they don't have a clear plan. In this video, I'm walking you through a weekly workflow that keeps everything on track. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple, repeatable system for uploading weekly without stress or burnout. By the way, there's a fillable Notion template that goes along with this video, so if you want to follow along, pause, go get the template, then come back and fill it along with me as we go. Before we build the system, I want to give you a few quick optimizations for each stage of the content creation process so that when we go to build your workflow, you're working smarter and not harder. And yes, I brought out notes for this. For ideas, keep a running note on your phone or in Notion and write things down as soon as the idea strikes you, whether it's after calls, on walks, or even in the shower. The goal here is to never sit down and ask yourself, what should I make? When outlining, script your hook, intro, outro, and call to action word for word. Those are the highest leverage parts of a video. Then bullet point the rest so that you can stay natural on camera. Oh my goodness, this one is so important. On film days, look at me, in my eyes, do not, I repeat, I know you're gonna try, but do not schedule any other work. No client calls, no client work. Give filming the space it deserves. Treat it like a creative sprint and not something that you just quickly squeeze in between your meetings. For editing, template everything you reuse. Checklists, chapter cards, end screens. This is such a huge time saver. If you don't do anything else, do this one. Save visual backgrounds as PNGs and save your text styles so that you're not choosing your fonts and colors from scratch every single time. And for uploading, template the main parts of your description, your social links, your about you, your main offer, so you're not rewriting it from scratch every time. There's actually a spot in YouTube Studio where you can save this as a template so it populates every time and you don't have to copy paste it every time you upload any video too, so do that. Now that you know how to optimize each stage, let's build a workflow that actually optimizes your energy and your life. Step 1, set your intention and goal. This is going to be the foundation of our workflow. So you want to clarify your goal. It could be something like, I want to upload weekly on YouTube to build audience trust. Then you want to define your intention, which is actually the part of goal setting that most people just skip. Your intention could be something like, I want to create videos that I actually enjoy making, not just chase numbers. And this is why it's important to have both for motivation and habit formation. Your goal is great for giving you that initial motivation and a specific target for you to be driving towards, whereas your intention really grounds you in the journey and keeps you present when things get really tough. Step 2, identify your energy patterns. It is no secret that we are not full of energy 24/7. So that's why it's really important to map out the times of the day where you have high energy and low energy. And if you find for you that you have specific high energy days and low energy days, then you're going to want to account for that too. Step 3, categorize tasks by energy level. Our definition of high and low energy might be very different. So now I want you to sit down and break down each task in your workflow by the energy it requires from you. So for me, I'm going to put tasks like filming and scripting hooks in the high energy bucket. Editing is a task that I would define as being in between high to low energy, depending on what I'm doing. So I stick that in the medium energy bucket. Thumbnails, I would kind of put thumbnails in the medium energy pile because it is one of those things where I could make it low energy if I really wanted it to be, but if I want my thumbnail to be successful, just like it takes time to script a hook, it takes time to design a good thumbnail that's clickable. So I would probably put that in the medium energy bucket. And then I would also consider scheduling to be more low energy. By doing this before we go to build out our workflow, we're ensuring that the workflow stays aligned with our natural rhythms, which really helps to reduce burnout and stress right out the gate. Step 4, my favorite, setting time boundaries and your weekly capacity. If you are someone who has found that YouTube or content creation in general has very easily taken over your life in the past, you especially do not want to skip this step. This is where you get to decide how many hours you realistically can devote to YouTube each week. And once you define that, you then want to schedule your tasks within those limits. For example, maybe you have 8 hours that you could dedicate to YouTube each week, and you've decided that you're going to split that into 4 2-hour sessions over the course of the week. So maybe on Monday, you spend 2 hours outlining and scripting. And then maybe on Wednesday, you spend 2 hours recording. On Thursday, maybe you spend 2 hours editing. And on Friday, maybe you spend 1 more hour editing and 1 hour scheduling and uploading and doing the thumbnail. Those might not be what the time boundaries look like for you, but you get the idea. Basically, break down how long each task takes you and be really honest with yourself and make sure that you are able to schedule those tasks within the time boundary for yourself. And if you can't, maybe you might have to switch to bi-weekly uploading or once a month uploading until you're able to build momentum and get faster at it, or until you're able to actually hire on more support to help you produce content at the volume and speed that you are wanting to produce it. Step 5, define rituals to reset and recharge. This is what I consider my secret weapon. Introducing mini rituals in between tasks to help reset my focus and energy and just boost my overall motivation and morale, which you need to do if you're building your own YouTube channel. You have to be your own morale booster. So for me, this could look like journaling, having a cup of tea, going for a silent walk, technology free, or even knitting. And these are some things that people might use to reward themselves as a treat or make a part of their morning or evening routine. But doing this in between, especially before and after really hard tasks in your workday, can really help to just reset your nervous system and ground you in the present moment, especially if you are someone who is neurodivergent like me and you really struggle to transition in between tasks in the middle of the workday. Doing these grounding rituals, I have found, has made a huge difference in my productivity and actually getting me to the next task, because it can be hard to stop and start tasks. Step 6, build your weekly workflow. Now it's time to get to the fun part, which is actually building your weekly workflow. So now in our Notion template, we're going to plop in the tasks that we're doing on the day that we're doing it. We're going to define if it's a high, medium, or low energy task. And then we're going to put in the ritual that we're going to pair along with that task to help us get into doing the task or as like a little reward when we're done doing the task. I'm going to put one for the sake of the example to not overwhelm you, but know that I literally do this in between every single task that I do. So don't be afraid to go crazy with it. And if you need ideas on different rituals to try, if you feel like you're just coming up dry in the think noggin, I included a full list in this Notion template. So if you haven't already, go download it. But you can reference that if you are looking for inspiration or to just get the wheels turning on what types of rituals would be fulfilling and energizing for you. So for Mondays, those are the days that I do my outlining, and that is what I define as a low energy task. And I particularly love to journal on Mondays, and so I put that in as my ritual for the day that I'm gonna do probably before I do my outlining, just to help clear my head. And then who knows what I'll do after that, but those are for sure the things I'm doing on Monday for my YouTube. Then Tuesday mornings, I have a little bit more high energy. So those are the days that I actually do my scripting for my hooks and everything like that. And on these days, I really like to knit. Sometimes I like to knit while I'm thinking of my hooks, especially if I'm having a particularly bad day of writer's block. So for Tuesday, I am going to put in hooks and my ritual is going to be knitting. Wednesday, we know what Wednesday is. It's today. It's my filming day. It's my high energy day. Not enough said, don't need to put anything else, but I am going to put grounding nature walk in my rituals area because I love to do that, especially after I'm done filming. There's a lot of energy being outputted literally from my physical body. And so it's really nice to just be able to literally and metaphorically touch grass. Right now it's snow, but that really just helps to clear out all my energy and stress that I built up over the day and just give myself a little reset before I carry on with the rest of my workday. That leaves us with Thursdays. It's more of a medium energy day for me. Days that I love to do editing. My ritual for that day, I'm gonna put tea and journaling. So I'm gonna have a tea break and a journaling break. When I'm gonna have it, who knows? Probably before, in between, and after I'm done editing. Because editing, sometimes it takes me a long time to edit. So for my medium energy day, Thursday, That's what we're doing. Then on Friday, that is obviously my low energy day. It is the day where we're at the end of the week. We've lived a whole life throughout the entire week, not even just with YouTube stuff, but with client work, with just life in general, keeping up on my daily routines. I'm tired. So this is obviously the day where I am uploading my video. It's usually the day that I also do the thumbnail. And sometimes if I have a little bit of editing to wrap up, I will do editing on this day as well. And if I just didn't have time to get it done, then I'm moving it to next week. I'm doing it on Monday and we're pushing the posting day by a week. And you know what? We're not stressing about it because not every YouTube video is created equal. This one particularly is a video that required a little bit more output than some of my other YouTube videos because it was more tutorial based. And so there was a lot more going on both visually but also physically that I had to film. And so I wasn't able to get this video fully filmed and edited in 1 week. And honestly, that's okay. I would rather skip a week of uploading to be able to do the video right than push myself to burnout and kind of just post something that's okay and that you might not really even be getting a lot out of because it was something that was just haphazardly thrown together. So when it comes to creating sustainably, it's all about learning to let go, release some control and go with the flow and trust in yourself and your routines, and that if you need to adjust the schedule, that is okay. That is a part of the process, and learning to lean into that and flow with that is what's really going to not only help keep your stress levels down, but it's going to help make this routine more sustainable for you in the long run and more enjoyable because you're not putting all of these constraints on yourself. You are trusting that you have the discipline and the routine and the tools to set yourself up for consistent success. And so you don't need to worry or guilt yourself or shame yourself for taking a little bit longer than usual. And that brings us to step 7, which is to adjust and optimize. I recommend you sit down monthly or quarterly to review your routine and identify what worked, what didn't, and what you're going to change going into the next month or quarter to better set yourself up for success. For me, I do this monthly because in the stage that I'm currently at with my business and my YouTube channel, things change so much week to week that what worked for me 3 weeks ago might not necessarily be working for me now. And so I like to sit down at once a month. I set a recurring reminder on my Google Calendar for the last Saturday of every month because I don't want to be worried about trying to fit it into the hustle and bustle of my work schedule. And Saturdays are just when I can just like breathe, decompress, and like think clearly. And so I like to choose the last Saturday of the month to just really quickly bullet notes. It doesn't have to be a really long winded process, just 20 minutes, bullet point notes, think back on the month, what worked for you, what didn't work, what you're changing going into the next month. And this is really what's going to keep your system sustainable by leaning into flexibility over rigidity and letting your routine flow through the different seasons of life with you and evolve where it needs to. And that is it. You've taken all the steps that you need to take to build your own custom weekly YouTube workflow routine. That was a mouthful. I really want to emphasize the importance of taking the system and using it to really lean in and build your own custom workflow instead of copying mine directly or just using another expert's one-size-fits-all workflow content creation routine. Because you're going to have the most success long term by customizing it to you. And I think that's like what the fun part is about routine building. I love being able to build something that is custom to me, that I know I'm going to find joy in, is going to be something sustainable and life-giving for me, and not something that feels like pressure, something I have to do, draining, overwhelming, unsustainable. If I leave you with anything, it's really that. I hope that you enjoy creating your own custom routine. I hope you use it as an opportunity to build some really fun and nurturing rituals for yourself. And if this helped you, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I'm going to be sharing more YouTube workflows and productivity tips in the coming weeks. So if you have any special requests or topics that you want me to touch on, leave them in the comments below so that I can create a video around it. If you haven't already, make sure to run and download the Notion template so that you can plug and play all of the steps that we talked about in this video instead of having to draw up or create an entire system from scratch. Unless you like that and that's what you want to do, then go for it. If you like this video, I highly recommend you watch this one next.